There's something more powerful than looks, money, or status. It's that strange, magnetic pull you feel around certain people. Like when she leans in just a little closer, her pupils widen, and she laughs at something that wasn't even that funny. You probably think she's just being polite. But what if she can't help it? What if there are hidden traits you've been ignoring that secretly make a man emotionally irresistible? And what's crazier, you might already have them, but no one ever showed you how to use them. Was that just in your head? Or was it real? You're about to find out. Have you ever felt someone drawn to you without knowing why? Comment your most unexplainable connection story below. And stick around, because the last trait flips everything you thought you knew. You walk into the room. It's crowded. Loud conversations overlap like static on a radio. Laughter echoes from the corner, glasses clinking, a flicker of neon lights reflecting off the windows. People are everywhere, but there's something strange happening. All eyes seem to drift toward him. He's not doing much. He's seated at the bar, shoulders relaxed, back straight, but not stiff. No flashy clothes, no loud gestures. He's simply there, calm, unhurried. There's a slow, deliberate sip of his drink. He's not scrolling through his phone. He's not scanning the room, looking for approval. He's just present. You probably wouldn't have noticed him at first. Most wouldn't. But then something happens. A woman at the bar turns toward him, her body leaning slightly in his direction before she even realizes it. Her friends are still talking, but her gaze drifts toward him, as if magnetized by something invisible. She tucks her hair behind her ear, smiles softly, almost absent-mindedly. You might think he must be rich, or he's probably some social media influencer. But here's what's really happening. It's not arrogance. It's not status. It's something far rarer. Vulnerable confidence. The kind of quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself. The kind of man who's made peace with his flaws and doesn't hide them. He isn't afraid of being fully seen because he's already accepted what's inside. You see, most men have this backward. They think vulnerability is weakness, that showing any cracks will make them look soft or needy or worse, unattractive. But here's the twist. Women don't fall for perfection. They fall for truth. Vulnerable confidence isn't about oversharing. It's not about spilling every insecurity on the first date. It's about owning your story without shame, without apology. Imagine this. He's telling a story to a group nearby. His tone is easygoing, his words unforced. He's talking about the time he lost his first job, how crushed he felt, how he almost gave up on himself, but didn't. He's not bragging. He's not fishing for sympathy. He just shares it as part of who he is, like describing the weather. And here's what happens next. People lean in. They laugh with him. They feel him. Because in that moment, he's not just some guy at the bar. He's human, relatable, safe, yet magnetic. Women can't help but feel drawn toward it. Why? Because this kind of confidence signals emotional safety. It says, I've seen my darkness. It doesn't scare me, so yours won't scare me either. That's what most men never understand. Real power isn't in hiding your flaws. It's in owning them. You're not afraid to be imperfect. And that makes you unstoppable. Here's something you can do tonight. Next time you're in conversation, share something honest about yourself. A small flaw, a struggle, but don't apologize for it. Say it with calm ease. Watch what happens. Most men will never dare to try this. But you're not most men. There's this moment. You're sitting across from her. The cafe is buzzing, but between the two of you, there's this electric quietness. She stirs her drink absent-mindedly, glancing up through her lashes, curious, waiting for your next move. Most guys freeze here. They either retreat into awkward seriousness or crack jokes non-stop just to fill the space. Terrified of silence, but not you. Not this time. You lean back slightly, a playful grin tugging at the corner of your mouth. You tease her just a little. Maybe it's about her coffee order. Wow, extra caramel, huh? You must really live on the edge. Your tone is light, your eyes amused. She laughs, pretending to protest, but something subtle shifts. Her guard drops a bit. Then you switch. Just. When she expects more banter, you lean in slightly. Your voice softens, not heavy, but honest. You ask her something that cuts through the noise. But seriously, has anyone ever told you what your eyes do when you smile? Silence. For a brief second, she forgets to breathe. She wasn't expecting that. That's the hidden magic of emotional agility. Most men are predictable. They pick one lane, either stoic and cool or goofy and playful. But you move between the two effortlessly. You tease, then you ground her. You challenge, then you support. You create these tiny emotional shifts, each one pulling her deeper, without her even realizing it. It's like creating an emotional roller coaster, but one that feels safe, addictive, and fun. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Every time you shift your energy like that, playful to deep, light to intense, you trigger little hits of dopamine in her brain. The unpredictability sparks curiosity. It makes her want to lean in to see where you'll go next. And the truth? Most guys never even realize they're missing this. They either smother her with jokes, afraid of depth, or they act so serious that the whole interaction feels heavy and forced. But you understand something deeper. Attraction isn't about perfection. It's about contrast. She feels safe because she senses that you're emotionally fluid. You can laugh. You can get serious. You can play. You can connect. And that makes her feel alive around you. So here's something to try. Next time you sense a little tension or awkwardness, don't run from it. Lean in with humor. Ease the moment with playful teasing, but then shift. Lower your voice. Make eye contact. Say something that touches a deeper note. Watch how she reacts. Most men miss this, but you're not most men. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a heated conversation. Voices are rising. People are talking over each other, trying to make their points heard, hands flailing in the air like they're drowning in their own words. But you don't move. You stand there, calm, still, not frozen but steady. Your breathing is slow, your posture relaxed but anchored, like an oak tree in a storm. You're watching, listening, letting the chaos swirl around you without pulling you in. And without saying a word, the entire energy of the room starts to shift. It's subtle at first. One person glances at you, then another. Their voices soften. They notice you aren't playing their game. You're not scrambling to fill the silence or match their noise. You're just there, grounded, unshaken. This is what I call calm command. It's the unspoken art of holding space, of letting tension breathe instead of trying to suffocate it. It's about leaning into silence instead of fearing it. Most guys, they're terrified of silence. The moment a conversation hits a pause, they panic. They rush to fill the gap, to keep things comfortable. But every time they do that, they give away their power. You, on the other hand, understand something deeper. Silence isn't empty. It's charged. When you pause, when you allow words to hang in the air without rushing, you create gravity. People feel it. They lean in subconsciously, craving your next move. You're not chasing anyone's attention. You're letting it come to you. Imagine this scene. You're in a discussion with friends. A debate sparks up, heated opinions flying across the table. You say nothing at first. You simply listen, gaze steady, expression unreadable, but not distant. Then, When the room finally quiets, you speak. But you don't speak quickly. You let your words drip like honey, measured, slow, deliberate. And suddenly, everyone's hanging on every syllable. This is calm command. It's not about being cold or aloof. It's about owning the space you occupy emotionally, mentally, even physically. It tells people, I don't need to chase your attention. I am the attention. The beauty of this trait is how simple it is to cultivate. Start with this. 4. The next week, every time you speak, pause for 3 full seconds after your sentences. Not awkwardly, not with discomfort. Just pause. Let your words land. At first, it'll feel strange. Your brain will scream at you to fill the gap. But here's the secret. That space, that pause, that's where respect grows. That's where intrigue deepens. Most men never dare to pause. They fear they'll lose people's interest. But you'll realize when you stop chasing. People chase you. You've already noticed it, haven't you? That subtle shift when you stop reacting and start holding. This isn't a trick. It's a way of being. And once you master it, you'll never need to impress anyone again, because you'll command the room without saying a word. Now, imagine this. You're sitting across from her. The world around you keeps spinning, people talking, lights flickering, music humming softly in the background, but for you, none of it exists, because right now, it's just you and her. She's speaking. Her voice is soft, almost hesitant, as she shares something personal, a childhood memory, a hidden dream, maybe even a quiet fear she's never told anyone before, and you're locked in. Not nodding along distractedly, not waiting for your turn to speak. You're fully there, eyes steady, body leaning in ever so slightly, breathing slow, unhurried. You aren't rushing her. You aren't trying to fix anything. You're simply listening. And in that moment, she feels something rare, something she may not have felt in years. She feels seen. That's emotional curiosity. It's not about pretending to care or asking questions just to appear interesting. It's not about following some fake conversation hack or mirroring body language like a robot. It's about genuine, focused presence. Most guys, they don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. They're too busy calculating their next clever line, too busy trying to impress, too busy wondering if they're winning the interaction. But you're different. You're not chasing her approval. You're not trying to solve her problems. You're simply fascinated by who she is. And that fascination, it's magnetic. Here's what's really happening beneath the surface. When you listen with this kind of depth, you activate a powerful psychological trigger: emotional intimacy. Her brain starts releasing oxytocin, the bonding chemical. She feels safe, connected, emotionally drawn to you, and she may not even know why. It's the oldest secret in the world. But almost no one practices it. You ask questions not to interrogate, but to explore. What made you feel that way? How did that change you? What was going through your mind when that happened? And then, you do the hardest thing of all. You stop talking. You let her answer. You let the silence stretch if it needs to, because you know that's where connection lives. Here's a challenge for you. In your next conversation, whether it's with a woman, a friend, even a stranger, ask a question that makes them reflect. Something deeper than the usual small talk. And when they answer, don't interrupt. Don't rush to respond. Just listen. Really listen. You'll be amazed at what happens. Most men never discover this superpower. But you're already beginning to feel it. That quiet pull. That gravitational presence. The ability to make someone feel like they're the only person in the room. That's emotional curiosity. And it changes everything. There's a dance happening. Whether you see it or not, it's subtle. Almost invisible to most guys. But if you watch closely, it's everywhere. That dance of push and pull, tension and release, challenge and warmth. Picture this. You're talking with her. Maybe it's at a party or on a casual walk. You throw out a playful jab, something lighthearted, but with a little edge. Maybe you tease her about her stubbornness or poke fun at her favorite sports team. Nothing mean, just a spark to ignite a reaction. She laughs, but not just because it's funny. It's because she feels the challenge. The playful tension. Then, just when she's ready to push back, you soften. You give her a genuine compliment. Something unexpected. Maybe about the way her eyes light up when she's passionate, or the way she stands, confident but relaxed. This is the essence of playful challenge. It's the rhythm that keeps her guessing and wanting more. Most guys make one of two mistakes. They either try too hard to be Mr. Nice Guy, avoiding any tension for fear of rejection, or they go full alpha, pushing too hard, turning the interaction into a power struggle. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't about domination or submission. It's about balance. You push a little, then you pull her back in. You test boundaries, but you do it with care. You create emotional waves that feel thrilling, not threatening. Think about it like this. When she feels challenged, her brain lights up, her adrenaline spikes. That rush makes her feel alive. But when you pull back with warmth and softness, you activate her safety system. She relaxes. She smiles. She leans in closer. That back and forth, the magnetic push-pull, is a psychological trigger that taps into something primal. And guess what? Most men don't even know this dance exists. They think it's all about being nice or dominant, missing the subtle art of emotional tension and release. You're different. You understand that attraction thrives in emotional contrast. So, here's a simple move you can try. Next time you catch her off guard, tease her gently, just a playful jab. Watch her reaction. Then, immediately follow it with something sincere. A compliment, a touch on the arm, a soft smile. Notice how the energy shifts. She's not just amused. She's drawn in. You're the kind of guy who plays this game with skill, not desperation, not NEEDINESS. Skill. And that skill? It makes you emotionally irresistible. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. Not a literal one, no howling wind or rain, but an emotional storm. Around you, people are swirling in chaos. Voices rise, tempers flare, emotions spike. It's loud, unpredictable, exhausting. Everyone is on edge. But you stand still, not frozen, not detached, but grounded, solid, like the roots of a tree sunk deep into the earth, unmoved by the turmoil swirling above. This is emotional grounding. Most men react to emotional chaos with their own storms. They either lash out, trying to overpower the moment, or they shut down, retreating into cold silence. But you absorb it. You feel the tension. Acknowledge it, but it doesn't pull you under. Your calm becomes contagious. Others sense it. They start to mirror your steadiness. The room quiets. There's a magnetic pull to this kind of energy. Women, especially, notice it, even if they can't put it into words. They feel safe around it. They feel protected, not because you're controlling the situation, but because you're in control of yourself. Think back to the last argument you witnessed, or maybe even had. Everyone else raised their voice, got defensive, threw accusations. But then there was that one guy, the calm one, the slow speaker, the one who didn't rush to react. When he finally spoke, his words landed like a hammer cracking ice. Everyone listened. That's the power of emotional grounding. You're the safe harbor in a sea of chaos. You don't get swept away by drama. You don't fuel the fire. You bring peace. This is not some mystical, unreachable state. It's a skill you can build. Start with your breath. Next time emotions rise, yours or others, take a deep breath. Slow it down. Speak 30% slower than normal. Let your voice carry calm authority. You'll notice the subtle but powerful shift in the energy around you. Most men never learn this. They get pulled into the emotional storm and lose their power. But you stand firm. You're the kind of man who controls his inner world, and because of that, the outer world bends toward him. That steady masculine energy, it's more irresistible than any flashy line or big gesture. It's quiet. It's strong, and it's utterly magnetic. There's a room. You walk into it. No music changes. No lights dim. No announcement is made. But something happens. A subtle shift. People's eyes flick toward you, almost without realizing it. Conversations pause mid-sentence. Smiles soften. Shoulders relax. It's not your clothes, your voice, or even what you say. It's something beneath all that. Something unseen. An aura. This is subconscious charisma. It's the invisible force that pulls people in, long before you speak a single word. Most men try to project charisma. They work on their posture, their smile, their jokes. And sure, those things help. But subconscious charisma? It comes from being, not doing. It's the sum of self-acceptance, emotional fluidity, and inner congruence. It's the man who's comfortable in his skin, who carries his history, his quirks, his emotions, not as burdens, but as parts of a whole. When you have this, people don't just like you, they feel you. Imagine that guy who walks into a crowded bar and, without saying a word, draws the room's attention. Not because he demands it, but because his presence whispers, "I'm enough." That feeling, it's magnetic. Most men waste their lives chasing validation, trying to fit in, trying to impress. But the man with subconscious charisma knows he doesn't need anyone's permission to exist fully. And that freedom? It's intoxicating. When you embody this, you don't have to force connections. They happen naturally. People lean into your energy, craving your company because you radiate acceptance, not just of yourself, but of the world around you. Here's the truth no one tells you. Subconscious charisma isn't built overnight. It's a lifetime of self-work, of embracing your shadows and your light, of being emotionally agile and grounded, of showing vulnerability with strength. It's the quiet power behind all the other traits you've learned. So, how do you tap into this unseen aura? Start small. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror and say to yourself, "I am enough exactly as I am." Not because you're trying to convince anyone, not because it has to feel true yet, but because you're planting a seed. Over time, that seed grows into a tree deep, wide, and unshakable. And as you grow, that invisible force becomes visible. You walk into any room, and you don't need to announce yourself. The energy announces. You're not trying to be irresistible. You simply are. Most men will never understand this. But you're already on the path. You've just uncovered the 7 hidden traits that make you emotionally irresistible. Let's run through them one last time. Your new checklist for magnetic presence. First, vulnerable confidence. The power of owning your flaws without shame. Sharing your truth calmly. Most guys hide their cracks. You'll let them shine. That alone sets you apart. Second, emotional agility. The skill to move playfully between moods. You tease, then soften. You challenge, then support. Predictable is boring. You're the man who keeps her emotionally hooked. Third, calm command. Mastery of silence and space. You don't rush to fill every pause. You hold tension like a steady flame that draws others in. Silence becomes your secret weapon. Fourth, emotional curiosity. Deep, focused presence. You don't just listen to reply. You listen to understand. You make her feel seen, heard, valued. That's rare and incredibly magnetic. Fifth, playful challenge. The magnetic push-pull dance of teasing and warmth. You create tension that feels exciting, not threatening. You balance daring and care, and she can't get enough. Sixth, emotional grounding, unshakable masculine energy. When the world around you spins out of control, you're the calm center. That steady energy comforts and attracts like nothing else. Seventh, and finally, subconscious charisma, the unseen aura that draws people before you even speak. It's the sum of all the above, radiating self-acceptance and inner congruence. You don't chase, it chases you. Remember this. You don't need to chase. You don't need to fake it. You just need to awaken these 7 traits inside yourself, step by step, day by day. And when you do, the world won't just notice you. It will gravitate toward you. You're not most men. You're the man who sees beneath the surface, who understands what really moves people. That's why you're already different. And that's why you're already on your way to becoming emotionally irresistible.